There's a little girl, she won first prizes in high school.
She can drop 2 pounds in each show.
As a little baby, she would cry at a sad song. And the minute the tempo was changed and they picked it up, she'd be happy.
Well, now, maybe on the next show you can try. Speaking of something stupid, I'd like to introduce Mr. Lee Hazlewood.
Hey, dummy, you're spelling my name wrong.
I think maybe most of anything in the whole world she wants a baby.
Now, if you excuse me, I'm going to go get a pizza.
She was a lovely, lovely person.
You know, it's a lot of fun working with people that you love. Until this engagement.
I'm a personal security guard for Nancy Sinatra. Besides, I wanted to get on the police force, in which I flunked their physical. So,
that's better. Much better.
I want to go home. No, I want to go home to L.A.
KPNO, Las Vegas, where the search for the world's greatest music ends.
2:30 in the city on a Wednesday afternoon. How are you? 735-9014. Time to play the broomsticks game. I'll take call number 4.
See Elvis live in Las Vegas. Hear Elvis's latest recordings morning 6 to 10 a.m. on the Johnny Gunn Show on KVEG AM and FM, Young Country Radio.
Jeannie, how are you?
Fine.
Good. How's everybody over at Bontoval School?
Okay.
All right. You're in the mood to play the game this afternoon, right?
Yeah.
Which one of the keynote disc jockeys do you think will be first to get to the land of Naboombu on his bed?
John McKnight?
You think I'll make it first, right?
Yeah.
Okay, Jeannie. Good luck. Here we go.
Join us next week at 3:30 for Nevada Outdoors with Fish and Game Department host Charlie Crundon. Nevada Outdoors was brought to you by Dwinell Enterprises, everything for the hunter.
This is Gwen Tilford. The Paradise Health Spa is the reason I've been looking so happy and healthy. I started going to the spa for the hot, bubbly mineral bath and to enjoy a relaxing massage to ease away those tensions, followed by a quiet nap in a vibrator chair. These elegant facilities are open to the public 7 days a week, or you can do as I did and rent a 1 or 2 bedroom furnished or unfurnished condominium starting at $160. The Paradise Health Spa has a 24-hour security service. Call 736-1666 today.
And the winner is John McKnight.
We have a winner!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Riviera Hotel. Tonight, Uncle Dino presents the Nancy Sinatra Show with Billy Strange and the Louis Elias Orchestra, Hugh Lambert, Lee Hazlewood, and starring...
You keep saying you've got something for me, something you call love, but confess you've been a messin' where you shouldn't been a messin', and now someone else is getting all your best. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they'll do. One of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. You keep lying when you ought to be truthing, and you keep losing when you ought to not bet. You keep saving when you ought to be a-changing. Now what's right is right, but you ain't been right yet. These boots are made for walking, and that's just what they're gonna do. Well, one of these days these boots are gonna walk all over you. Dirty boots. Start walking.
Where's the boots, too? Where's the boots? Oh, there's the boots on that one.
Behind high. Dino. when you get this home, you better trace over it with a pen, okay?
Yeah, you want to get Lee's autograph?
Okay.
Okay. Where do I put it? Where do you want it? Back here? Is this all right? Okay.
Your show was fantastic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can I have your autograph too?
Mine too? Okay, pop by the sale. What's your name?
Dina.
D-I-N-A?
Now, is there anything?
Dina. State of Carolina. Oh, boy.
What have you got?
Right here.
Catching your get-along?
No.
No?
Thing happened.
Well, I tell you what, you're not as young as you used to be here.
Oh, yes, it does work. Yeah, because, you know, what we're going to do, the second show, is instead of stopping, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll go straight across. And keep it running. That way it'll work. Guaranteed.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
They were sitting there like this. Just like that. And that's why I did all that yakking.
I heard you from up here, but it didn't sound like they were cold when they were doing this, from what little we can hear up here.
Well, that's because there's like 400 or something. But it was just hideous. I couldn't get over it.
They were good, though.
Who burned the candle?
Once they understood.
They got good.
Huh?
They got good.
Listen, an audience has to be graded just like the performers.
Right. Sure, I think you could grade. I would give that one about an A minus.
Yeah?
That's pretty good.
What do you think?
I thought that whatever you did in the beginning, and I know you were doing something, but I had some things going in my head, obviously, but I was listening at the same time. And you were doing something at the beginning to charge, to make things charge.
Of course, I'm an easy person to get along with. I can talk and talk and talk.
Right. But you don't think Lee really needs a bodyguard, or?
Not necessarily, because I don't think people know him as well as they do Nancy Sinatra.
And I told you earlier, the only thing Mark said, Mark Tan is the guy who said anything, not derogatory, but he said about you, he didn't get a chance to talk to the audience, and now you're doing that on your own.
Right.
I love you. I love you.
I love you too, Daddy. My daddy thinks he's retired. He doesn't know, and wait till he finds out he's doing 2 shows a night at the Riviera. I don't know what I'm laughing at. Billy? Sorry, Bill. Are you all right? Billy was drinking some water. I called his little name. You sure you're all right? Ladies and gentlemen, may I present our conductor, Mr. Billy Strange. Oh, dear. Bill, I'll trade you this for something to sit on. Thank you. I'd like to tell you a little bit about me. In 1966, after having worked very hard for 8.5 years, I became an overnight success. Oh, it was terrific. The critics said it was because my name is Sinatra. And I thought, well, if a hit record, the name of Sinatra on it is always a hit because it's Sinatra, what happened to my 200 other records all those 8.5 years? So I thought, that can't be it. It's a logical mind that I have. I said, aha. It's the man who wrote the song and produced the record. That's what happened. He's the one responsible for it. And he said to me, your name could have been Jones and it would have been a hit, that record. He wrote a song about boots and he produced the record. And after that we had several other very successful records that seemed to please people. And it was really a wonderful working relationship. And then A little bit after that, Lee moved to Sweden, and we haven't worked together in about 4 years. And I'm really excited, this engagement, because it's great fun to work with him. I really love it. I call him Barton, in case you're wondering why it says Barton Lee Hazlewood on your table credit cards, because his real first name is Barton, and that's what I call him. I'd like for you to meet him now. Barton Lee Hazlewood.
Thank you. Hateful day. You got the cutest little hateful day. I don't know.
What are you singing?
Hateful day.
What's that?
Hey on you.
Hateful day.
That's the way you translate it literally.
What is that, Swedish?
Yeah, hello. How are you? Hateful
Hello.
day.
Oh, jag älskar dig.
Oh, I like you too.
See, I learned some Swedish.
You learned a lot already.
Barton.
Oh, yeah.
Would you do me a favor?
Sure.
Would you save my place?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Bye. This is the Geritol part of the program, so you can relax now. We're going to blow all the class right here. Not much to look at, nothing to see. Happy I'm living and I'm lucky to be. I got a woman crazy for me. She's kind of funny that way. I can't raise $1, I can't save a cent. She'd never holler, she'd live in a tent. I got a woman crazy for me. She's kind of funny that way. And though she loves to work and slave for me every day, she'd be so much better off if I went away. Oh, but how could I leave her? How could I go? She'd be unhappy without me, I know.
When you produce for Las Vegas in the intent that we mean to get the initial hard hit, right? In other words, to get the initial reaction that you need then to play to a lesser money capacity, right? Yes, it's very expensive. It's tremendously expensive, to the degree that, very candidly, and I spoke about this, with Lee and with Nancy. Lee is being far underpaid. Nancy and I are being paid nothing. I mean, our corporation is doing it, and we know that we are going to realize no monies whatever from this initial engagement. However, we intend to amortize the cost over a few appearances. Consequently, several of our favorite people who work with us, including Lee and including Billy Strange, and etc., and hopefully Nancy and myself will be able to make a couple of dollars.
Well, as far as the money goes, I mean, even we're getting low paid because we are an outside contract. We are not a union.
I got a woman crazy for me. She's kind of squirrely that way. She's kind of goofy that way. She's kind of Nancy that way. It brings a tear into my eye. Oh, when I realize if you don't think home soon, I guess I'll drown
never stopped changing. We had Nancy and I had we had a depressing hour today because someone, a friend, criticized us rather harshly for our performance and our show. And we talked about it, and we said, no, we're not going to get knocked down by this. And we said, we're going to go ahead and we're going to keep on going. And finally what we said is, the one thing that this poor critique will do for us is it'll make us get out there and do it even better tonight.
Well, I'm getting out there on time now, and that is a great improvement.
Oh, that's an improvement.
I'm finding my stool, getting my strings straight.
I think the reason critics become critics is because they have no talent for performing and yet want to be in show business, so that becomes their thing.
All I do, as you can see, is just stand around.
Why is this? Now, we all confess that we don't care too much for critics and their critiques. But why do we like, when we read a good critique, do we say, that guy is right? And when we read a bad critique, we say, that son of a bitch, he's wrong. He doesn't know anything. But we all say, look at this, Mom. Look what they wrote about me in the paper today.
So we're going to continue with our changes and our improvements, if you will, our refinements. And just keep doing them, that's all. Tomorrow night something else occurs to me or to Nancy that seems to be an improvement, we'll do it again. Same with Billy and the same with Lee.
Our first year at the International, I walked out in my first downbeat, ripped my pants right from the crotch to the belt line. I went, zink, and they went, and there it is.
Night before last, I went into the John and did my little number. Fine. Went over to wash my hands. And when I was washing my hands, somehow I flopped all of the water that was in the sink all over my pants. I went in and borrowed that lady's fan. You are now doing the dance, by the way. And I'm in with this fan that big, drying off the front of my pants. And when I got downstairs, you could still, if you looked close, you could see that all this was wet. That was last night, that when I sang the song to the stool.
I got a chair as if it's too short for me.
She's funny that way.
Oh.
Well, you know what happened is I suddenly noticed, because my leg, well, they're duck legs anyway, and they're not very long. and my feet are webbed. But I noticed that all of a sudden I was sitting on that stool, about like you sit on the stool. Like this, like a little child getting ready to say, gonna climb up that mountain. I was sitting like that. And when I was doing that song, I thought I'll get a leg down. When I put it down, in the way I was sitting, the floor had about that much farther to come up to meet me. Is there no goddamn short stool in the world?
Oh.
Go home and make babies.
Well, you don't have to go home to do that, do you?
Well, my doctor told me that I'll never make any babies if I keep dancing around this stage.
Well, yeah, but you don't, after you've tried to make a baby, you don't get right up and dance, do you?
No, and a hairdresser told me that I should put my shoes under my side of the bed. Well, now, which pair of shoes? The one I was wearing that day, or my favorite pair of shoes?
Your sneakers?
Or, the ones that have been blessed today, this morning. Stepped across the rug, the heavy rug in the sitting room, and I, in my bare feet, and stepped on a penny. And she said, put them in your shoes. Put the penny in your shoes. I said, I don't have those kind of loafers. You know, remember the old loafers that you put us? I got Gucci loafers. Where do you put them? The penny is in the loafer right now. It's driving me crazy.
You people are the only two people I know that your whole sex life is built around shoes. Did you ever?
Not so much that you could notice.
Well, could you estimate how many?
8 or 9.
Will you do it anymore?
As soon as you walk out the door.
I just wonder, did you ever?
All the time. Can I fix you one small?
No thanks, I just had one.
Then how about a nice big?
That would be just fine.
Is there any special way?
Whatever you say.
Well, I just wondered, did you ever?
All the time. Does he look like...
No, he's taller and more handsome.
Yeah, but is he old?
Oh, no, he's young and he's in his prime.
Does your father know, I'll bet?
I haven't told him yet.
I just wondered, did you ever?
All the time. But just for old time's sake.
No, that would be much harder.
Then how about?
Well, are you sure that you don't mind?
I know just the thing for us.
No, I'm afraid I'll miss my bus.
I just wondered, have you ever?
All the time.
I just wondered, did you ever? All the time.
You were a bitch tonight. That's all I got.
I was a bitch. You were a mother yourself.
Oh, that was a good show.
It was?
Oh,
You could have fooled me.
Why? That audience was right there.
They were not right there. They were talking all through the show, right ringside, driving me crazy.
I can't hear ringside.
Ooh.
We gotta get a mic down there, Eddie, and tell them to hush.
I was going to go over, it's so hard to be a lady on stage. It really is. I was going to go over, take the microphone. In the middle of a song of Ain't No Sunshine, everybody. I was going to go
So I
over.
told him my girdle size was size 12, and I
Oh,
told
really?
him... Yeah,
And I was going to do that number with her.
Did you? Does she? Did you? What would have happened if I'd have done that? We'd have had to do it wrong side out.
I would
That
have
song,
died laughing.
that song though, is funny either way. It doesn't make any difference.
No, I couldn't have done
You
it.
couldn't have made it at all.
Oh, no.
It was beautiful.
Oh, no.
Well, there he comes. Mr. Billy, thank you for holding that cord at 8 Billy, thank you for holding the cord on Did You Ever for me for a day or two. What did you think of the show, Bill? You like it?
That was a hard one.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, did you love the audience?
Water!
What?
Water!
Give Bill water. Mountain water, spring mountain.
I don't know why, but that was the goddamnedest hard show for me. I
Really?
was burning up. Oh,
You had your tie.
something about a picture of your daddy, a signed picture for the
yeah.
violin lady. Shouldn't you be lying on your back like the old Roman thing and feeding into the mouth?
No.
That's the only way.
We're going to put a bill. Put a bill in.
Come here, Spake.
Lay one on. We'll put it in his mouth. Spake. Go ahead. Give him a grape. Give him the thing here. This is a commercial.
Well, not the whole bunch, you jerk. No, just one. No, that's dirty.
No, it's
One at a time.
No.
I'm going to hit her right in the mouth.
You can see that on a movie?
Yeah, do it.
Right? So
Right
do
here.
it like this.
You eat them one at a time, Bill.
Right.
That's ridiculous. How can I? Don't push on that. What are you doing?
You were born in, you weren't born in Vegas, but you were born in Nevada.
No, I was born in Idaho.
Oh, you nasty broad. You rock. You did it, didn't you?
Am I the only jerk that really found it hard tonight?
No, I'm the other jerk.
I couldn't even find it.
Working for Nancy Sinatra or going out and working on bomb scares is all the same.
It's all the same.
It's all the same.
Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is really made from all these things.
I walked in town on silver spurs that jingled too. A song that I had only sang to just a few. She saw my silver spurs and said, let's pass the time. And I will give to you summer wine. Oh, summer wine.
Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is really made from all these things. Take off your silver spurs and help me pass the time, and I will give to you summer wine. Whoa, whoa, summer wine.
My eyes grew heavy and my lips, they could not speak. I tried to get up, but I couldn't find my feet. She reassured me with an unfamiliar line, and then she gave to me, you guessed it, more summer wine. Oh, summer wine.
Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is really made from all these things. Take off those silver spurs and help me pass the time, and I will give to you more summer wine. Summer wine.
When I woke up, the sun was shining in my eyes. My silver spurs were gone, my head fell twice its size. She took my silver spurs, $1 and a dime, and left me craving for more summer wine. Summer wine.
Strawberries, cherries, and an angel's kiss in spring. My summer wine is really made from all these things. Take off your silver spurs and help me pass the time, and I will give to you summer wine. Oh, oh, summer wine.
Help! Meet me in front of the hotel at 8 a.m. for the Boulder Dam tour.
All right.
Or Hoover Dam.
Well, it started for me in 1953 in Phoenix, Arizona, which I had the privilege of first meeting Lee. And he was a disc jockey over in Phoenix at the time. We started doing a few things together in the recording studio in Phoenix. We just kept recording until he finally got a hit with a song called The Fool. And from there, Lee moved to Los Angeles, California. Very soon afterwards, I came over.
Total concentration. It's absolutely true. She studies her music. She's very serious about her music. And she feels a great deal of responsibility. When she goes on the road with a show like this, she has 30 people with her. And she really gives her all. Every night. Twice a night. 7 days a week. And I couldn't do it. And I'm a bigger lady.
But I love the man. I love being around him. He's a very, very talented man. He, very talented writer. I think that he was, as we say in the business, a little ahead of his time.
Well, you see, originally I worked for Nancy's business manager. And it's a very large firm. And I think I learned everything there that I do for Nancy, from handling real estate to just general business. And Nancy's a very active businesswoman. I don't know if you know it or not. She has a company called Boots Enterprises, which takes its name from these boots are made for walking.
We were doing a club date in Houston, Texas, at a club, very nice club called the Tidelands. And one night, he says, well, here's one I've got, and I just wrote it. He only had 2 verses to it. And he did it, and we never had even rehearsed it before. I didn't even know he had the song, and he kicked it off, and we started doing it. And from then on, every night, the people wouldn't let him go till he did These Boots Are Made for Walking.
And she does know. She knows about lighting. She knows about the sound. She brings her own special people in.
We haven't had any problems with her.
He started his own career as a recording artist, which I was very happy for. I'd been trying to get him to do it for years, and he wouldn't do it. He was too busy producing other people, which he was a very, very great success at.
She knows. No. She will call me and say what she wants done. And then I do it. And she's just confident that it will be done. She relies on me because she knows I feel responsible.
Billy Strange was a good friend of Lee's when Lee first moved to California. And Billy Strange was a guitar player in many of the good Western and country groups that were around California at that time. And Lee asked him, would he like to arrange, conduct a Nancy Sinatra session? And Billy most certainly said yes.
I own my own home in Brentwood. I have a dog and 2 cats and my own social life.
I feel that, well, I mean, a job is a job, and we'll go out and do as best our possibility, as best we can.
And Hal Blaine has been with Nancy, and Billy Strange, Al Casey, Lee Hazlewood. All of us have been together ever since.
And soon we hope to see you in Sweden, will you?
I certainly hope so. I'd love to come over. I love your country.
Tell you about Machine Gun Kelly. He rode along the outlaw trails. Machine Gun Kelly was a simple man, but the woman was as hard as nails. Watch out, machine gun. Don't let her run you round. Don't let a woman put you 6 feet in the ground. Machine gun. Tell you about Catherine Kelly. Tired of being small time now. Figured they'd kidnap a rich man's son, make it in the world a crime. Watch out, machine gun. Don't let her run you round. Don't let a woman put you 6 feet in the ground. Machine gun. Better watch out, machine gun Kelly. Careful of what you do now. If you keep a listen to your old lady, ain't no telling what'll happen to you now. Machine gun. The government boys that came for Machine Gun took the poor boy away. They stuck him in a hole in Leavenworth prison where he lived until his dying day. Watch out, machine gun. Don't let her run you down. Don't let a woman put you 6 feet in the ground. Machine gun.
I think that the survival of Nancy Sinatra and Lee Hazlewood lies in this coupling. I really mean that. We have proved it this time.
That's really
Maybe we
exciting.
could get that.
I am known within the American business as being a subtle director, a subtle choreographer, a subtle performer, if you will. And the joke about me is he will subtle you right out of show business.
No,
You tell me what to do here. I say, okay, you go from point A to point B to point C, if you will. And how you get there is your business. If it's wrong, I'll tell you. That seems a little bit stepped, but she, as a creative individual and with the music behind her, knows. Can you imagine telling Lee Hazlewood how or how not to walk onto a stage?
I think you can just do it one way.
That was the lowest I've ever heard.
The reviewer said, uptight Lee Hazlewood had nothing to say to his audience, therefore the audience did not know who he was. Now, since then, Lee is now beginning to talk with Nancy.
You never liked me, have you? I mean, tell me the truth, since we first met, you basically, in your heart, do not like me. You've never liked, you don't even know anybody who likes me.
And I have asked Lee, I've said, Lee, when I'm on stage, I said, Lee, something is wrong at the end of that song. Please tell me. Would you watch for me? Something is wrong. It's not making it. There should be a better reaction to it. What's wrong? What am I doing wrong? What's Nancy doing wrong? It's so wonderful to have that kind of a person around, really, that you can rely on their knowledge.
Sometimes he may be right.
I believe so. I believe so.
One man had the terrible audacity to say, the Sinatra name is back on the strip in Las Vegas, but don't get too excited, folks. It's not Papa. It's only little daughter Nancy. Now, come on. That's really bad. He's not reviewing a show. He's reviewing a family.
We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. I'm going to Jackson, gonna mess around.
Yeah?
I'm going to Jackson, look out Jackson Town.
Well, go on down to Jackson. Go ahead and wreck your health. Go lay your hand, you big talking man. Make a big fool of yourself. Yeah, yeah, go to Jackson. You better comb your hair.
I'm gonna snowball Jackson.
Well, go ahead and see if I care.
When I breeze into that city, people gonna stoop and bow. All them women gonna make me teach them what they don't know how. I'm going to Jackson, getting her boots on my coat. I'm going to Jackson.
Goodbye, that's all she wrote. They'll laugh at you in Jackson.
I doubt it.
I'll be dancing on a pony keg. They'll lead you around the town like a scolded hound with your tail tucked between your legs. Yeah, 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 go to Jackson, you big talking man. I'll be waiting there in Jackson, behind my drape and blank. We got married in a fever, hotter than a pepper sprout. We've been talking about Jackson ever since the fire went out. Go to Jackson, and that's a natural fact. We're going to Jackson, ain't never coming back. We're going to Jackson, ain't never coming back.
The people that we bring with us as a nucleus, our rhythm section, are not only old players and old friends, but they dig the lady and they like me, they like Lee, because we've all been together so long. The people in the house bands, such as the string players, they're here every day out of the year. They're here 52 weeks a year, and they've read every piece of music that can be read, and they're tired of their jobs. So they don't particularly pay attention, and it becomes a very difficult proposition sometimes to just, you have to practically hit them over the head to make them really generate any activity in the bandstand.
And you've seen Billy have to kind of almost conduct with an axe sometime to get various people's attention. Not our people, but various people of, of the big orchestra occasionally.
It would be an interesting proposition if 6 musicians could take a year's sabbatical and go to Europe and try to build the kind of situation that they now have in Hollywood, where everybody's making a great deal of money. Since I don't know anything about the European market, I'm not sure that it's even possible.
And it's impossible because of the European scale, because of the scale of musicians.
Well, of course, they pay good money for a Duke Ellington.
Yeah, but I'm talking about I'm not talking about scale now. If you're talking about in recording some tune and everything else,
No, I was
these
thinking
guys can,
more the personal appearance thing. In other words, if the American musician, a Billy Strange, were worthwhile as an arranger, conductor, or what have you, or performer in the European market, say, in conjunction with a Lee Hazlewood, if that were a worthwhile project, maybe it would be worth taking 6 months to a year to build a Reno, Vegas, Tahoe kind of route. That you could do nightclubs and or big concert halls or whatever. I'm not sure that there would be that kind of market for it. Like, as a for instance, this European tour that was planned and the Australia thing with Nancy. Practically every player that we have said, "Hey, I'd love to go," but it would turn out to be more of a vacation than a 6-month working thing, because they would see 10, 12, 15 countries. Under those circumstances, you get a lot of good players to go on things, I myself would be interested on a situation like that. If somebody picks up the airplane tab and your hotel bill, and you come home with $1,000 a week.
Blondes aren't necessarily dumber than redheads. Blondes aren't fundamentally stupid or deadheads. Blondes aren't big on schoolery, but we dig our furs and jewelry. Blondes aren't necessarily dumber than redheads or brunette types or brown-haired people. Blondes aren't categorically saccharine or silly. Blondes are hip and thoroughly modern, like Millie. Blondes are apolitical, but with bonds we're analytical. Blondes aren't categorically silly or saccharine or whatever. Brunettes are cool girls, honest, forthright, stay by the rule girls. But blondes are cooler. We go forthright down to the jeweler. Blondes have eyes that seem a bit brighter and bigger. Blondes are often cursed with a whistle-bull figure. Blondes have other ladies slurring them, but gentlemen are still preferring them. Blondes aren't necessarily dumb.
Oh, well, there is a lady that I work with named Nancy Sinatra, and there is a Frank Jr., and there is a Tina, and there is a Mama Sinatra, who's perhaps my favorite Sinatra. Should I be nervous? Should I be nervous right now?
Because of the opening tonight?
Yeah, because of the opening.
I think a little bit.
Do you think I should be a
Oh,
little
I
bit
think
nervous?
everybody is.
Well, I want to try to get up some kind of nerves and be nervous. I remember 1966, I think we decided yesterday it was.
Mhm.
When we went
I
on a
think
tour.
so.
Mama is a cracker thief. You steal crackers and stuff out of airplanes, don't you?
Oh, well, I always save a little something for later.
And it's always who you're stealing
And
for, though. Never for
not
Mama.
for me.
No.
For Nancy, if she's there, or it might be Tina, or whoever.
Right. She steals.
But actually, they often wonder why I do it, but then they're glad I did.
Always
You
glad
know,
that you did.
because they're always glad that they have a little snack later
Well, you know,
when you're traveling.
when we recorded, when Nancy and I were recording together, she used to bring something all the time in little brown paper
Oh,
sacks.
little sandwiches.
Yeah, and she'd say, this is for you. And I'd say, where'd you get it? You don't make sandwiches. Well, Mama made them. I was just by Mama's house and Mama made them.
Nancy's always had a weight problem. She can never gain weight.
There are some of us who...
I keep telling her in about 20 years she won't have that problem.
when you were Nancy's age, were you about the size of Nancy? Are you
I
smaller
was a
than
size
Nancy?
5.
A size...
She's about a 5 or 6, and I was a 5.
And what kind of a little girl was she around the house and everything?
Darling.
Yeah? Was she fun? Did you enjoy her?
Always.
I mean, other than her just being
No,
yours.
was always a sweet, lovely young lady and a little baby, and she was cute.
Who out of the three, out of Nancy and Tina and Frank Jr., was maybe the friskiest, for lack of a better word? Who was the kind of the mean one of the three? Around
Well, the
us?
boy was always a boy.
Yeah.
He's always different.
Yeah.
And I could understand man more having had a son because
helped.
they're born different. It's true. They are different. And then, of course, Nancy was a very sweet and, fun, but Tina was the friskiest of the two girls. Nancy was kind of tomboyish.
She's still a little bit.
Yeah,
you know,
tomboyish. But little Tina was the friskiest. Or you might say the one with the... her attitude was a little more gutsy than Nancy. There's Bob Whiteman, who was used to be head of Metro, and he's now at Columbia. He has a big film called Anderson Tapes. And he used to run the Paramount Theater years ago when I was pregnant to Nancy. So he knew her. And one day in his office, when Frank was appearing there, we were sitting around and we had her on the desk. And you could hear the music. She would cry with a sad number, and as soon as the tempo was picked up, she was happy. This is the way she was affected by music at that age. She was with a group, and she would take scores from like Song of Norway, or Carousel, or whatever the big scores were, and rewrite the lyrics in keeping with the school organization that she was in, and come up with first prizes. And she'd teach harmony to the group of girls, and conduct this whole thing, and they'd come up with the first prizes. She had great feeling and could teach harmony and write all the lyrics. She's not a phony, that's for sure.
When you see her now on the stage, she's sort of directed indirectly.
She's done that with her television shows, too.
Yes, she did.
Which I think is...
With some of her TV shows, especially
So
that
the
one.
first one.
The first
especially
one.
the award-winning one.
That's
I
right.
know I was
That's
there.
right. And that's
I know.
why he also said when he got the award that this should be going to Nancy because she did a lot of
When
work
Jack
in that
Haley
show.
got it,
Jack
yes, she
Haley
did.
got the award. I think Nancy would make a fine actress.
I do, too.
She has great quality and great depth, and I think she runs the gamut of anything. She can be gay and great pathos. She is terrific. I think she'd make a great actress. She's never been given the chance.
We are in Las Vegas, Nevada, and Nancy Sinatra's opening with Hugh Lambert and
Lee Hazlewood.
and Billy Strange, and we're sitting up here talking to Mama, and Mama's trying to keep all of us from being very nervous, and I think perhaps now she should go back down where Nancy is and maybe take her some crackers.
Not too long ago, just outside Paris, Arkansas, a young lady had a mountain to climb.
Gonna climb up that mountain. 'Cause it's one thing I know. My daddy's in that mountain. Digging Arkansas coal. Yes, I hear my mama calling. I'll let her wait 10 minutes more. She'll be sore. 'Cause I like to lay on the ground and listen to the sound of my daddy digging Arkansas coal.
Been down here since I was 9 years old, and I know someday I'll die in this mountain, digging, digging. Arkansas, Arkansas, cold, Arkansas cold.
A man like her daddy, digging Arkansas coal. Billy, get off of that mountain. Billy, you got to go to school. Billy, your mama and daddy ain't gonna raise you no natural fool. No natural fool.
Mama, why is the earth shaking? Mama, is the world coming to an end? Mama, why are you crying? Is it another
My God, the rocks are falling. 10,000 tons on my head. I knew someday this would happen. So this is how it feels to be dead. So this is how it feels to be dead.
Gonna climb up that mountain, 'cause there's one thing I know. My daddy's in that mountain,
digging Arkansas coal.
This job is pretty tough. You are almost, should we say, a detective or you are a policeman.
Well, you might say it's a 50-50, you know. It's both ways. It has its ups and it has its downs.
I take care of her personal needs as much as possible. I take care of her car, drive her car wherever she wants to go, and protect her from the people that want to get to her. Mainly if she was to be over-mobbed by people asking for autographs and what have you.
No, in this job here, like I say, it's half policeman and, like you say, half detective. Now, I got to know when to ask a person for his ID, and I got to know when to let a person go through.
That means that you must be around almost day and night, or...
We have a 16-hour security on her, and in the hotel pulls another 8, which is a 24-hour security.
What shall we say? If there is a divorce case or something, do you have to check upon the lady or upon the guys?
Oh, no, I don't work in that at all. I don't work that way at all.
That is no.
Right, I'm a bodyguard. That's all I am.
She's a very, very nice person. She's been the greatest person in the world to be with and talk to. She'll actually listen to you talk about problems, and which you'll find that some of you entertainers in the United States will not do that.
Most of the time in this business here in the show business, you can tell when a person's in the business itself, you know, the appearance and so forth.
I think her husband, Hugh, is a very nice person.
Yes, he's a very nice person.
Is there any other actor that you have been sort of guarding?
No, I've met a few, never guarded any. This is the first job.
You've seen the show?
I've seen it put together. I watched it from the day they started up until the first day, and it was kind of amazing to see the first how it started and how it was put together.
Yeah.
Really great.
You've been hurt, and I've been hurt. Now we live in pain. Take my hand and ride with me on the friendship train. We'll go to some little place and wait for the end. There I'll hold and comfort you and love you like a friend.
I'll do for you. You've been down, and I've been down. Down, I guess we'll stay. Love was just another word we taught someone to say. So let's ride the friendship train. Who knows, we might win. But win or lose, I'll stay with you, love you like a friend. Like a friend, when you cry, I'll lie and say you're not feeling like yourself today. I'll love you like a friend. When you're blue, I'll do anything and everything you want me to. I'll do for you.
And 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 I'll do for you.
I'll do for you.
Are we through?
Mm-hmm.
Can I go back to Sweden?
Oh, all right. Bye.
Hey, Doe.